Hey everybody, Rodamon here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 80 of Oxygen Not Included. Picking up where we left off, we had just set our new rocket to launch. So as you can see, we have 2 launches underway. The SAT is currently grounded, will be launching soon, and then of course our new rocket is making its way to go get ourselves the materials we need for thermite, which is a material that will allow us to replace a sizable amount of our robo-miners with something better. So I'm quite excited about that. Before I forget, let's put the egg-shaped object right here into our museum. So, some things I need to do before I finish this giant mining tunnel project. One thing, I'm going to have it cut here. There is likely to be a sizable amount of liquid that drips down as a result of completing this this project here, and I don't want it to flash into steam. So to protect it from flashing into steam, I'm going to to protect it from flashing into steam, I am changing up some of the design ideas that I had previously, and, well, we're gonna make it better. I hope. Alright, let's speed time up. Taking a look at our space dock, we will have this, the Explorer 2. Honestly, I should just rename these so that they're not confusing. The Carbon Supply Ship. Or really, yeah. That works. And this will be the other ship is the fullerene, or the, well, metallic. There. More sensible. We do have some things that need to get finished. I think it's probably waiting on steel. Actually, it's just waiting on a constructor, as far as I could tell. My guys are sweeping and cleaning as fast as they can. And it looks pretty good. Alright, let's get that plastic finished. And we'll just keep mining upwards. Up, up, up. Making sure that anything in our way that we need to dig out of the way gets dug at higher priorities when we get there. This is just a, it's just a fun project to have. Like a straight shot to space. It's weird. It's very, very weird. But I don't know. There's something about this project that's funny to me. I guess I could have used the priority, but if we take a look at the priorities here, oh yeah, I guess I didn't actually, that didn't really work the way I'd intended. That's fine. I don't really care about how fast that gets made. It's one of these projects that, I mean, it has value, but it's not super important. Okay, the other issue is that we do have in a cycle in a seventh, we are going to, or 7/10ths rather, we're going to have this return home. Oh god, does that ever look funny? And in returning home, we are going to need to, finish up the dock, or there will be some crashing to be had. So I don't want it to crash. And if I want it to avoid crashing, I'm going to have to, well, fix it. Another thing I'm going to fix over here is and all this I'll set to 9, because I want this done. We are going to min-max the amount of steel that we're required to have. What's interesting about this is that pretty soon I'm going to have a lot more steel. If I take a look at the thermite, So let's see. Or rather, Thermium, not Thermite. It's going to require some tungsten. Now, I'm probably not going to get a ton of... As you can see, it's a 5 to 95 ratio. It's mostly tungsten. So I think what I'm going to do is... I'll keep cranking on steel for a bit, but then I'll switch over to tungsten. If someone's idle, that's a bad... Yep. Always a bad call. I am pretty good about making sure my guys stay working. The other thing here is... Sorry, Bryce. I know you were in the middle of building that. We're going to want... Let's see. Mesh tile... Because I'm going to want an airlock here. I won't go with plastic everywhere. It's not really all that necessary. Alright, so that will be contained. So it will look like this. Little ball element here. And that is my airlock. The airlock doesn't really work because the mesh tile's over here. So... I'm going to do something like this. And let's set this up as a building 7. Alright, the stress of accidentally making Paddy Wagon stranded has decayed. So, you are searching for the carbon supply ship. Good. So now, I do believe I have got... everything I needed squared away for the carbon supply ship to supply correctly and not have issues. Great. Now, as far as shipping goes, I'm going to need a conveyor bridge. Let's put it like that, just off to the side. And then I think this is probably unreachable. If it's not, put a ladder anyway. And we're retooling the right rocket, the fullerene rocket, so that we can very quickly unload the cargo bays with the least amount of steel invested. That's what we were doing down there. All right, as far as our ranches go, 6 and 6... Okay, well, we're still hatching more. Now, I had a lot of suggestions about ways to sort of foolproof this up here. I liked one of the ways mentioned in Discord. One of the ways mentioned in Discord was sort of intriguing to me because it was something I hadn't done yet in Oxygen Not Included. So I'm going to implement it. So basically the idea is to use pixel packs. Frostelban mentioned using pixel packs that read whether my gantries are open or not, and then gives me a good old, like, yes, safe, not safe. What's going on here, though? That should not... Oh, do I have a ship returning? Oh, I have the ship returning. That's why it's opening. I was like, what is going on? Alright, so this here, let's try to dig that in time, because otherwise melty. All right, and that still reads as unreachable. We should have the return flight any second now. Space mission's complete. Oh god, don't stand there. Bryce is like, dude, you just cooked me. All right, so this regolith is unnaturally hot, but that's okay. Let's let Muhammad out. And the doors are closing. Everything worked as intended. And if we take a look at the conveyor, we should have some... Oh, you know what? It's not a complete section. Yeah. Well, that would be a requirement. Guess we're not unloading that anytime soon. All right. Well, we'll get that built. But we should have some We have refined iso resin, niobium. There is some niobium, so that's good. Niobium is what we're going to need in order to make the thermium. And I'm going to say infinite thermium here. And then in this here, this rare resource, let's see, manufactured material. Where would this be? Refined metal. You know, I don't think I've made any yet, so I can't put it in as a priority. But we'll make some soon. We just need to finish up the ladders and rails. No problem. My dupes like to work. While our gold printer has been stable for quite some time, I did not realize that I was refining petroleum. So I'm going to disable that, as our petroleum reservoir is almost full. The amount of coolant I have... Actually, it could use a little bit more coolant, so I'm going to let some more go. Because I think it's going to be a little while before I'm able to... oh, this is the ceramic to build the next one. It's going to be a little while until I'm able to replace all the robo-miners the way I want to replace the robo-miners. Because of a lack of steel and whatnot. So it is going to be... We are going to still require coolant. Alright. As you can see, the egg-shaped rock still has not been swept. We are going to refuel this for the same sort of trip, but... Oh, what now? Oh, there's one... Is this reachable? Oh, it will be reachable when we build this ladder. Yeah, that's what it's waiting on. Alright, what other projects are we working on? Hey, look, all of the Weezworts are dormant. That's, you don't usually see that. The checkpoint is still not done. That's fine. I didn't think it was going to be done that soon. Okay, come on. Please tell me you're here to build the ladder. Ah, yes. Glorious. Yeah, you're not going to be able to relaunch until the rocket has been emptied of cargo. It just won't let you. I mean, not that it even makes sense, but empty cargo bay is a requirement. There goes. So now, destroy these two ladders and put back the other cargo bay, and we're all set to go. Then I need to still remove some stuff, but, so here you see the great big cargo Dumbo drop. And all this stuff lands here and gets sorted in our beautiful sorter. This is a lot of diamond. I did see one of my dupes grab some niobium because they're bringing it over here for the thermium. It also makes sense for me to keep, so insulation, rare resource, to keep tungsten. So I am going to build yet another crate, yet another storage bin just for tungsten, so that I have all of my tungsten locally sourced. So here is, I don't know what batch of this is what we're making, but we're delivering a whole lot of. So here, let's go into refined metals and go tungsten 9. All of our tungsten should be in that box. I can't even tell what we just manufactured here because there's a big old... Yeah, refining... Thermium. Okay, so we do have some thermium now. Where should that go? That should go... Are these the same box? Yeah, I guess they are. So thermium is going to be added to both. And that's a material that is super insulated, or rather heat resistant, I guess is the right way to put it. And that's going to allow us to make sure that was made out of ceramic. Yeah, it was. Okay. That's going to allow us to not have to passively cool our robo-miners, because thermium's even better than steel. Alright, new printables. Yep, let's print some water. And also, we can put Muhammad back into this bay once the... don't go yet. Once the strikes are over, and get him on another trip with my very unoriginally named carbon supply ship. Alright, so I do want to keep making steel until basically I run out of reagent, and then switch over to tungsten. And it looks like we are getting a healthy amount of, let's see, Thermium 200 kilograms. And then we've got Visco Gel and Supercoolant at 1,900 a piece. That's really, really encouraging. Okay, we do have our cargo bay. Looks like I forgot a rail, but I think we're going to be able to build that rail from the gantry, so that's not an issue. Okay, let me remove some of the ladders that are here. And then we might even be able to do a dual launch. So these liquid tanks... these liquid tanks are full. They're just reading as empty. Actually, the bottom oxalite doesn't have anything, but the other tanks, their gauges aren't reading, but they are actually full. Oops. Oh, you know what? We can't reach that now. Good job, me. There's an order of operations to be respected. Okay, this conveyor rail, I think it should be reachable. All right, let's clean everything out. It looks like these strikes are over. And get ready to launch. I'm also just going to want to sweep up all this igneous because I use it to stop overheating. And if the rocket dumps a whole lot of heat to it, that's not going to help anyone. Oh, hugging the little egg. Makes for happy little Drecos. So we're at 7 and 7, so let's take off continuous. Yep. Everything is all set. Okay, so sine curve and Muhammad to your perspective capsules. I'll flip open the doors. Oh, well, that's not okay. Never mind. Wrangle 9, and you stop hatching. I know there's regular Drecos that are in this tunnel that I could probably wrangle. Here, I'll just wrangle this one. Wrangle 9. I don't know how old it is, and I don't really care. Disable and sweep. So now our ranches are going to be full. Okay. Well, 1 and 2. Godspeed. Oh. Yeah, I did. I did it again. Oh, God. At least it's only 20 steel. It really is very, very inexpensive to repair it. So the way I was going to set this up, and the way I was setting it up, is going to require me to have a little bit more steel than I currently do. What is this, frozen regolith? What happened here? So the way I wanted to do it is, if you take a look at the automation, or actually, I think it was in furniture, the pixel packs. I'm going to have to do like a steel pixel pack. So a pixel pack can be red or green, grid status, as you can see over here. And we can basically just have like red or green lights to light up if everything is set to go. Which I think would be pretty cool. But because right now I'd like to start setting up my Thermium miners, I'm not going to... I'm not going to use those pixel packs because they would use steel that I would rather have used for mining. Or, yeah, for the robo miners. Because if I take a look up here, what I want to be doing eventually is essentially this. Where I might not even bother with the sweepers anymore. And just leave the material where it is. But I want to be as close to the edge of space as I can, because I'm not really using the kinetic to thermal heat that the regolith provides. I don't really need regolith. I'm not using regolith, so for all of those reasons, I would like to redesign my sort of base here to be more efficient, all the while deciding on some projects. So we'll get that underway. I think the last big project for me to truly work on is to liquefy hydrogen, and I'll start on that pretty soon. We're getting a decent amount of supercoolant, and the supercoolant is going to be what is more or less required in order to do hydrogen, liquid hydrogen manufacturing. But I did want to repurpose some of the Thermium. So if I take a look at the RoboMiners, for instance, RoboMiner is 200 material. I have 900 Thermium. So I could start setting RoboMiners up once I have enough steel to sort of replace my structures. But again, that's just, you know, bottlenecked on steel. So... Yep, and lime is what we're going to run out of doing that. So what I could do is search for fossils. Fossils will be this sort of red color when I go to the materials overlay for mineral. And I can figure out where the fossils are and, well, get the fossils. So if I mined here... that would release a whole lot of salt water. So instead of doing that, let's go like this. I don't need igneous ladders here. Granite will do. Let's go up and in. And then drop down. Like that. And these projects I'm going to set to 8, just because everything is basically contingent upon getting the steel I need. And we're not going to get the steel unless I prioritize it. Another cool thing that I could show is the Visco Gel. I actually didn't really even need these mesh tiles, to be honest. The Visco Gel Lock. So let me sweep this up at like 7s. I don't even think we can get over there. There. And I will show you the beautiful Visco Gel effect. Okay, so these are granite. That's good. I think we have a bunch of slime lung over here, too, that is just untreated. Yup. Oh, boy, yup. All right, furniture. Okay, so the Visco Gel. Liquid, Visco Gel, 9. And then we'll go back to our forge, and the Visco Gel, I actually can tell them to sweep up everything, because the supercoolant has nowhere to go, so it doesn't really matter. Let's take a look at the star map. Yep, looking good. Okay, so where is that lock? It's right here. All right, so here's the Visco Gel Lock. And the Visco Gel Lock, what's cool about it is the gel is very viscous, hence Visco. And it just creates a vertical lock on its own. With really no, you know, I'll do a whole, let's do a sweep only Visco. Sweep this, 9. And then go back and cancel the other sweep. I'll do a full 200 kilograms of Visco Gel as like a what we do. But yeah, it forms its own little liquid lock automatically, without having to do like a 2-tiered anything, which is pretty neat. And there it is, our little Visco lock, and its temperatures are really great for most purposes. It doesn't. It does freeze at a somewhat, you know, you can't really use these in like cold biomes because it will turn to solid Visco Gel, but it won't evaporate very easily. So there's the liquid lock we wanted, and yeah, I guess that's all to say about that. So we'll also add in liquid locks in other points. Like I could do one here as well. Just so that this tunnel is air-gapped from the rest of everything else. You know, I might even go so far as to eventually wall it off like this, so that it is just a straight chute. And being a straight chute, you know, the gas that's trying to escape to space doesn't wander, so to speak. Okay, we have some strikes. More plastic, like I need more plastic. So just for fun, I think what I'm going to do is prioritize this this tunnel. Although a lot of what we're doing right now is just sweeping. A lot of sweeping. But we do have the room, which is good. Oh, got a little too hot. That buddy bud. Once I am able to replace my steel robominers with Thermium ones, and I can run the coolant, I'll have a nullifier that basically does not any longer serve a purpose. And one of the things I'm going to do with that new nullifier is start to really set up running air conditioning. What is going on here? Mushroom. Oh, we need to cook. I have a ton of K-Cows, but they're not processed food. I do have a tiny little, well, yeah, I have a tiny little bit of frost buns, but my guys are going to be a little hungry. That took me by surprise, but that's just because I was inattentive. Alright. The strikes stopped. And one of the robominers overheated. So if robominers are overheating, it means I don't have coolant running. And it's from a lack of power? Is that for real? Yeah, I am not producing enough power at the moment to keep up with my demand. Oh, you know what? I know why. It's because I just opened up all of my bunker doors, and that takes a lot of power. So soon, all this stupid overheat damage is going to be a thing of the past. Because what's really, really unfortunate is that is burning up my my steel supply. As we have to consistently repair the thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to the day where, you know, active cooling is no longer required. So now we have coolant running through this, and yeah, that should fix a lot of the heating issues. Here comes the space mission. As you can see, the Thermium run is a lot faster than the Fullerene run. Because it's, you know, half the distance. Does it take literally? Yeah, it takes literally half the time. So we'll have a lot more of that going. Alright, space mission's complete. Let me pay attention to that for a second. Touchdown. And let Muhammad out. And those shipping lines, we've already proven that they work, so I don't need to stare at them. All right, what about the pockets? So this pocket of fossil we have reclaimed. Let's go back to that overlay and just keep finding little pockets of fossil. So there's a pocket of fossil here, which is really not that far from this ladder. And we'll give this a 7. Now what's weird is I'm going to need a lot more steel initially to free up a whole lot of steel. Because essentially what I'm going to need to be doing is building like bunker doors here. In order to remove the, well, that wasn't a straight line in them. But in order to remove these bunker doors and then move these up. Basically everything's getting scooted up a bit. I could actually leave my robominers here. But the question is, of course, steel. So another huge advantage here is that you see all of these metal tiles that I need in order to conduct cooling into the robominers. My solar panels soon will not be blocked. They will have clear, you know, lines of sight to space, because when I don't need to cool my robominers anymore, these metal tiles could become mesh tiles, and then my solar power panels won't be partially blocked anymore. So that's also pretty exciting. All right, my Thermium. So I have 1,100 kilograms of it, and let's just keep these keep Muhammad running in these cargo runs, so that we can get more Thermium and replace all the robominers, and possibly replace one auto sweeper and cargo loader. And the purpose of that is so that I can manually sweep up regolith and have somewhere to put it. Because obviously I don't want to store regolith. I'm already storing a ton of regolith here. I don't want to store any more regolith, so the advantage of that is that we'll be able to just like load some regolith up just to tidy up occasionally. But I would need an auto sweeper and storage bins for that. And I could also do like 2 or 3 storage bins. It doesn't need to be 1 storage bin. So we'll be redesigning it that way. Okay, so the Oxalite got delivered. And Muhammad's going out for another ride. Alright, let me hotkey my tunnel project. There. Did the fossils... Nope, fossils have not been acquired yet. That's okay. Alright, Muhammad's in. Retract, check gantry doors. They all look clear. And launch. Okay, if my doors are closed, that is an indicator of strikes. So I don't see, oh yeah, there's the strikes. I guess we launched right before the strikes came. So good timing. I don't have full ranches. Why didn't we wrangle this one? It's like starving to death and we're still not wrangling it. The drop-off point here is a priority 1. The drop-off point here is a priority 5. Yeah, we should definitely have wrangled it correctly. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we've been using the regolith as like a walking platform in order to expand. Now, there's also an argument to be made where we widen our solar panels, but I don't want the solar panels to get too close to my launch tubes because heat. Solar panels don't like heat. They break very, very, very easily, so there is that, of course. It's also weird to see my population down to 10. Any of the material that gets overlaid on here like this heats up because the regolith thing cools down. Yeah, so we'll fix that. All right, Steel, what are you waiting on? You are still waiting on... Yeah, we still have a very limited amount of lime. Refined carbon is funny because now we're going on space missions to get refined carbon, so we don't really need to manufacture it the way we used to. It sort of worked itself out here. All right, this tube is no closer to being done, but mostly for a lack of attention. What about the slime lung? So the slime lung, as you can see, is getting killed off. Wouldn't hurt, I would say, to have... maybe another flower pot around here. And then another thing that I could do is in this tube, I could have a fire pole. Maybe, perhaps, well, we'll see. Some sort of fire pole in order to speed up freedom of movement. But there's a lot of tidying up to do. And that's what my guys are working on. So we'll be seeing the Fullerene ship come back soon, and I should ready the runway for that. Now that we have the Thermium, it's also possible to just have auto sweepers clean up the auto sweepers and auto miners clean up the bays here. I would have to retool it a little bit, but I think that would be a really, really good idea because I do find that this is a cyclical problem where I am regularly having to tidy this area up, and it would be great if I didn't have sort of, you know, work smart, not hard. It looks like my coolant isn't actually running, so let's do minimum 100. I cannot wait to be coolant free. Okay, this water looks filtered. This flight's coming home now. Wow, all of my bins for regolith are full. Probably because we're trying to sweep this up. This is going to take a little bit of time. because that was a lot of material that we mined up. All of this here, well, I actually don't know if are there wires underneath this? No. All this here obviously can switch back to insulated tile, as there is really, truly no risk of it being destroyed or whatever. Welcome home sign. Wow, he popped out of there quick. I, didn't even see him. All right. Okay, let's retool that, free up some steel so that we can get going on these bunker doors. Now, these top bunker doors, I will, I think I'm going to leave my robo miners where they are. And just run automation wire up to the top bunker doors. But again, I don't really have steel for that at the moment. But as we deconstruct this, we'll gain steel pretty quick. And yeah, I know that I'm going to have a lot of weird mining to do. Damon, are you not a miner? Oh, there you go. Yeah, this might melt my plastic, so let's put this as a 9. As you can see, the temperature of this plastic is just climbing, climbing, climbing. It's going to turn to naphtha pretty soon. Yeah, we're about halfway to melting point. There we go. Thank you, Bryce. You're the man, man. All right, this rocket is already fully refueled, and we could have sine curve get ready for another launch. Wow, he's already in there? Yeah, this is a quick turnaround time. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. I mean, not really, because I'm not that fast, but I don't know. There's some pride in this. All right, we should be all set to go. So launch mission. I don't see anything. We didn't break a gantry this time, so that's an improvement. And how much steel do I have now? I should have at least a little bit of steel. So what I'm going to do here is automation wire. Okay, yeah, we have a bit of steel. These automation wires here, at least initially, are going to run up like this. And then eventually, once we have the full bunker wire all set, or the full bunker doors all set, rather, I can design it better. So you don't really need Thermium bunker doors. Steel does work just fine, whereas Thermium is probably more bang for than is required. Did I have a ladder here that just disappeared? I'm sure I did, but I have a ladder over here. You know, I'm not gonna worry about it. All of this steel mesh tile can actually just be insulated tile or something like that. I can reclaim all this steel too, because we're not using the light underneath. So we'll do that. Just trying to gain all my steel back. So here's the other mission is coming down. Get ready for a landing. As you can imagine, if you have more than like 3 or 4 rockets running missions that are like close to home, a lot of what you're going to be doing is just managing your rocket program. Hey, look, a naturally forming airlock. You don't see that often. That's one of the reasons why I have the ladder here. So this water here can't spill over to the Visco. As sort of a fail-safe. Still haven't gotten that fossil. So our steel production is probably halted. Nope. Yep, it is halted for a lack of steel. A lack of iron. What? Why did you dig that? I think, oh, you know what happened is the mealwood that I had planted as a result of yeah, I know what's going on. So the mealwood that I had planted to replace the Wheezeworts was auto harvested, and I don't want that. Okay. So, Magenta Fairy is definitely helping to cook. Caught us back up. This flight got home. Muhammad comes out. We refuel it. And then we'll be back on our way. How's my Oxalite? My Oxalite is actually keeping up pretty well. Pretty well. So, a huge advantage, of course, of... oh, we are... Really? The Oxalite refinery is overheating? Wait, for real? Is that... No. Why would that be overheating? What temperature is it? No, it's not that hot. I actually don't know why it got damaged. Maybe the weight plate got damaged? No, it says the refinery got damaged. Oh, you know what it could have been? It could have been oxygen somehow, or hydrogen somehow got shunted into it. Oh, is it just out of power? Maybe my batteries are just so empty. Nope, that isn't it. What's going on? Oh, there's something on the weight plate. There's steel on the weight plate. That's what's going on. Yeah, so the issue here is, for whatever reason, the oxygen diffuser... I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But I think what happened was we used up a lot of the oxygen. That's pretty easy to fix. All I have to do is put in a normal gas vent. I'll put the normal gas vent right here. And then we'll put our regular gas pipes and have gas dump out right next to where the gas pump is. So I think the issue is the oxygen diffuser wasn't getting its algae, and then it just started drawing atmo from the area. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of hydrogen that was originally pooled here. Also, let's definitely replace this with Visco. I lost an airlock. And this, that was vacuum sealed, got destroyed because of that missing airlock. Cool. That's just dandy. So then what ended up happening is the oxygen diffuser, because of the lack of algae, stopped, and then the pump started pulling from everywhere, and it was pulling so much hydrogen that some of the hydrogen got into the Oxalite refinery and tanked it, bricked it, did damage, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're all fueled up. And Muhammad should be on his way. Let's just sweep this as 5. I don't know what the priority was, but... Alright, Muhammad. Good luck up there. So as soon as this gas pipe and vent is fixed, this should no longer be an issue. Then over here... Sure, gold amount. I don't care what it is. Let's put the Visco Gel back in, and then we will vacuum seal this again. Or not Visco Gel, but let's replace what was petroleum and crude oil with Visco Gel. I don't know how it got mopped up or whatever. I don't know why it got removed. It certainly didn't evaporate, but... At the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just fix it. Oh, good. Part of my rocket fueling got glitched out, and you can see their fuel levels there. That's always helpful. So my raw minerals, igneous, okay, I do still have plenty of igneous. I think it's just that my duplicants are very busy and backed up. So now, my main trunk of oxygen can just help to pressurize, add oxygen to this area. And that will be helpful to prevent the situation where the oxygen diffuser goes idle and then the gas pump starts pulling in the wrong material. Up to 3,000 kilograms of thermium. That's awesome. And we are working on the new space dock. So once you have thermium, this is what like a perfect endgame space dock would look like. I'm working towards it, obviously, but it would be as close to the edge of space as you can, and then with a bunch of thermium robo-miners, which, if I don't care about the vertical space here, I can actually start to put them in. And maybe that will be the last thing I do this episode, is get a bunch of thermium robominers. So the advantage of the thermium robominer is that they don't need coolant because their overheat temperature is so high. So if I'm doing this, what I want to do is have this be my true high priority, and then prioritize everything else to like 8 or whatever, just not 9. So that it gets done first. Okay, so as you can see here, we've already removed some of them. And then robominers, thermium, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, they were really, really fast. And the huge advantage of this, like I said, is the no coolant necessary anymore. And also that all of the steel that they were made out of can be repurposed. So I can mop up all the petroleum. Oh, that was fast. There they are. And then if we take a look, the overheat is 975 Celsius, which is hotter than even the hottest regolith. It's really just not going to overheat on me. And then there's some other advantages as well, where I will be able to replace the metal tiles with mesh again. And that will allow the solar power panels to now operate at 100% efficiency rather than whatever they were at before, which is another distinct advantage. And then the temperature plates no longer needed either. So that is a whole lot of diamond that I can recap. So, kind of exciting all around, I'd have to say. And that's all thanks to Thermium. All those space-age materials. So if you take a look at the light map, As you can see, these solar panels have 100% sun. And they're not, you know, they're now full efficiency. Which it just helps with making sure that we don't use too many combustibles. Now, another thing I'm going to need to do is all of these radiant pipes up here. They're no longer needed. In fact, this whole loop here, no longer needed. I'm going to wait a little while until I replace my auto sweepers. Because I don't want to... you know, the auto sweepers and conveyor loaders still could overheat. But everything else is good. We're really looking very solid at this point. So all of my Thermium robo-miners are up, and all of the floor tiles have been replaced. So next, not that it is a high priority, but let's reclaim this diamond. And then we'll do a big sweep. So I'll probably move where the auto sweepers physically are to like here. And they'll act just as a way to get rid of unwanted regolith that's like sitting around. So if we take a look at the solar power panels, these solar power panels, or actually the scanner, excuse me, the scanner can't be near heavy machinery, so that's what we have to worry about the most. Heavy machinery, if you're wondering, is things like the loaders. So I'm going to have to be cautious about how close my stuff gets to the loaders. And right here, what I'm doing is just sweeping up all the valuable material that we're reclaiming. The steel, the gold, the diamond. Because it easily mixes in with all the debris. So solar power panels and space scanners need to be apart from one another. Space scanners and auto sweepers need to be apart from one another. So it does make it a little tricky about where exactly you put your space scanners, but I think this is a pretty good solution. So I would say high priority, I need this. This is my new high priority because I'm impact risk here until I have this sort of setup. I might move my robo-miners anyway, just because I'm going to want some sort of like mesh walkway here up in this area. And if my robo-miners are down here, then I have 2 mesh walkways, which is not very efficient either. But let's hope that my dupes start working up here. Because obviously strikes can come in this way. Because I do have a gap in protection and coverage. And I think it would help if I turned all this cleaning to like 7 or something. Just so that it's not competing with the urgent construction that I've designated. Oh, yep, because the doors are closing. That means strikes are coming. So yeah, I do have a hole here. All right, guys. Well, cross your fingers that I don't get hit. And with that said, I am out of time. So if you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. I did say that there would be a bit of a poll about the projects that you want me to work on before this series ends. So if you'd like to vote in that poll, just go to Rhodomont.com. I'll make an announcement about it on the YouTube polls. So you could just check the community tab for YouTube to find it there. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.